This is showing you how to use the graphing calculator for lines of regression, which is a graphing calculator investigation on page 87. The first thing you're going to do after you turn on the calculator is you're going to go to Stat. Okay? Then what you're going to do is either hit 1 or Enter, and you're going to be in Stat. Now, I'm going to go up. Notice how I'm going to toggle up. I'm going to clear this table. So what I'm doing is I just toggled over, okay? Hit clear, hit enter. The first time, so you go up here, first time when you hit clear, you're giving instructions. When you hit enter, you're saying execute those instructions. A lot of times with the calculator, that's the fact. So I'm looking at the table, which it says year and income. So I'm going to put the year in L1, which will serve as X, and the income in L2, which will serve as Y. So let me enter that data. So I'm just going to put 1970, enter, 1980, 1985, 1990, 1995, and 1998, okay? Now I'm going to go, all I'm doing is going to toggle or arrow over to L2, which is again Y, and enter the other data. Now that I have the data entered, what I want to do is look at it. So we're going to look at plotting or graphing, and it's called stat plot. Up here at the top, you can see stat plot. And I'm going to do, notice it's in blue, so I'm going to go second y equals and open stat plot. I'm looking at the first one here is plot 1. I'm going to hit enter, okay? Make sure it's on. In type, I like the first one, which is a scatter plot. I've designated X is L1, Y is L2, and there we have our mark in the color navy. Now, what you're going to do before we graph it is we have to set the window or the range. So if I look at the window, okay, this is not the range for our data. So I'm just going to go zoom 9. That automatically sets the window or the range for your data. And that was called Zoom 9. It only does it for the stats. Now you can see, kind of barely, you can see the plot for this data. Now, I have it as a scatter plot. Let's go back to stat plot. So you go second stat plot. We're going to go back in. Let's fix this color really quickly. Let's just do this. There we go. Enter. Okay. So here's our stat plot. Now what I want to do, which is worse. Okay. Well, all right. Let me just fix that really quickly. Go in and fix that color. I guess it's going to be navy. I guess that's blue it is. Okay. See if you can see that again. Yes, you can see that now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we want to calculate the equation of the line, or what's called a linear regression or lines of regression. Now here's how to do it. First, what we do is we hit Stat. Okay, we're going to be calculating, and we're looking at number 4, which says linear regression, line of regression. We're going to hit Enter. Now what this did was select that. Now what I need to do is calculate it. Now, we just calculated the equation of the line for that data that we entered into StatPlot. Now what we're going to do is I want to have a look at it. So we're going to go to y equals. I'm going to clear this out and put vars 5 EQ enter, graph. What this does is it draws that equation through your data. Let me show you again. Okay, so I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to clear this out, okay? Let me do that, enter that again, show you exactly how to do that. So we start with stat, we go over to calc, we select number 4, and then we have it calculate. So we calculate the linear regression, or the equation for the line, for the data that we entered into L1 and L2. Now, go back, we go to y equals, because we're going to say, where do we want to put that equation? This is how we transfer it. Vars 5 EQ, enter, graph. And it draws, and now we can toggle on it. It draws that equation of the line over the data. This is the line of best fit. Now there's things you can do with it. You can analyze it. You can go ahead and substitute different numbers. Like for instance, you could ask, okay, according to this, what would the income be in 2005, 2010? But these are the basic instructions for how to enter the data and calculate the line, and then plot the regression line over the data in the graphing calculator.